Hello and welcome, I'm Tino, and today we are going to talk about one of the most important concepts in game, that is combat with. And if you want to promote diversity in YouTube, or you just want to help the channel, or maybe you don't want to help but you believe in karma, you have a button below, subscribe, press that button. You are going to need your Gmail account, it's free, and that's all. So what is combat with? Is each time you have a combat, let's say this example, you will see a number here, combat with, and basically is the front line size. Remember the movie 300, they had in that movie a very short combat with, meaning that the least units will prevail since there is no space. If you check this number, it says 36, meaning that this unit plus this unit, they add up a total combat width on 36, so they fit perfectly within the 96, and they both are able to participate in the battle. But let's check another example. For example, here, down here, we have a big concentration of units, and we have more units than the front can support. For example, the front line is 120, and these units together have a combat width of 126. So these units are out of the fight, and if you mouse over, you will see that they receive a penalty for being exceeded by 6 points in the combat width. So how do you calculate combat width? Well, each terrain has a fixed combat width. For example, forests have 84 for one direction, and if they add more direction, they will keep adding 42. Jungles have a combat width of 84, and so on. And for example, plains, since they are wider and open, they have a combat width of 19, and each direction add 45. But some locations are special. For example, urban have a huge combat width with one direction, 96, and each new direction only add 32. And of course, mountains have a very narrow combat width, 75 and 25. So this means that, for example, let me see, in this case you should check which the target terrain. We are going to click there, and here you see the terrain, and you will find hills. So you find the base hill that I think it was 80 plus one direction, means that this combat width should be 120, and it is 120. If you mouse over, you will see the details. Also, when you design a unit, check here, each unit has a combat width, and as if the unit is bigger, the combat width will increase. As you add more battalions, you will see that the combat width will start expanding. One exception are the companies that are on the left. They do not use combat width, so that it's important to add as many combat width as you can, since you are adding more firepower in less combat width. Also, all the battalions have different combat width. For example, infantry uses 2 combat width, soft artillery uses 3 combat width, and anti-air uses 1 combat width. This uses 3, this is uses 2, this is uses 2. So you must check all the time your combat width. And that's where elite units come into play. For example, we have an elite unit here, and the idea is put as much quality as possible and in a small combat width as possible, so you are able to break the enemy line with concentration of force and quality. And that's all. Hope you find this information useful. If you did, you know what to do. Thanks, bye bye.